So frustrating. I wanted to finish the conversation though, because I think this is fun. So I opened the window to cool it off in here. I got rather heated. If we go way back though, Funko did, in the very beginning, you see these ones that just have the DP logo? They did some like promotional packs and some early stuff, but then they did Funko Fun Days 2022, so 3 years ago. They did the first ever Blacklight Battle Packs. But you only got those if you redeemed a card and got it, and actually got it sent to you. It was like 3 months later, it was expired, and all the ones that are expired are never going to go out. That promotional period is ended. They won't distribute them anymore, so they're trapped forever. And that's part of what makes reading these and understanding these really difficult. There are 4 packs you could open depending on which part of the room you were in. I actually got a few extra packs, and there's this one I don't plan on opening. There's only one listed on the market right now for the Pop Protectors pack. And you can see in there what you could possibly pull out of it if you look up at the top there. You could look and see which, per pack, you are going to get something from the Pop Protectors area. Either a common, a rare, or a one-of-one would come out of that pack. But the question is, like, how many were ever actually opened and burned or collected? First of all, there were 450 packs. You can't see it because of the... There we go. There were 450 packs that were possible for that section of the room. So already a super low number. 305 were actually collected, and only 267 were opened. So there are still some people holding unopened packs like myself. But of the 267 open, you then had either the common Pop Protector, which of those, there were possible 315, only 178 were ever collected. And now 2 have been burned, I assume, because of Arcade. And then there were the possible rares. Of the rares, 135 collected. Yeah, 315, 135. 89, or 135 possible, 89 actually collected, 4 have been burned. So there are still only, wait, why does it say remaining? Oh, that's remaining from how many were distributed. So there's only 85 of these in the world that haven't been burned. I completed the set of the commons and the rares. I spent some money on these, but look at the asking prices now. If you want to buy a common, the cheapest common is $22 on the market right now. If you want to buy a rare, the cheapest rare is $55. These were very rare. You can still find a few packs. There are none of the Killer Crowns available. 2 of the Blacklight Bandits. 2 of the Proto Robos. And I don't know if all the one-on-ones were ever even acquired. No sales history. Does it tell you who owns it? No, we'd have to look on the wax blockchain to figure that out. But these are some of the rarest things Funko's ever made, and that's because so they're on the wax market. Yeah, Darts Wacko, absolutely. These were on both. Actually, these went out before Droppp even existed. But here was the problem. Funko put the cards in the boxes. They handed them out to their core audience. They never said a word about it. There were never any reminders later on of like, hey, it's expiring. Make sure you redeem it. And then, you know, there was no, we didn't talk about it again. We did here, but other people didn't talk about it. So they kind of flew under the radar. But they're some of the rarest Funko NFTs ever made. They're rarer than all the Grails. Even the commons are rarer than the Grails. And at some point, they may have amazing utility within Droppp Arcade. Imagine if they said, turn in any Blacklight battle card for 100,000 points or for 50,000 points. I would have to consider it then, because I have 2 of some of the commons, but I don't plan on doing that. They also did, while we're doing this, somebody mentioned it in the chat. This is still my whale that I want to get. They gave out a Funko Press and Investor Day. They gave out, I assume, never to get a clarification, they gave out some sort of swag, and in there was a card to redeem and then there were packs in there, and the packs had a 100% chance at a rare. But of the packs given out, there were 250 possible packs. Only 18 packs were ever acquired. 16 of those were opened. That means there are 2 there are 2 packs left in existence that have not been opened. And then of the rares that were pulled out of those packs, there was a possible 250, only 16, the math adds up. 16 people each have one of the rare NFTs. That not one has ever been listed for sale or sold. And I spent one day going through looking at every Wax wallet that held one of these NFTs and searching Google, Twitter, anywhere to see if I could find the person that had that address. And I never found one person. I need to do it again. If I can just find one person that owns it and convince them to sell it to me, I would pay a pretty penny for that to have one of the only ones. And you know who's holding two of them? Let me see if it's still true. In Tokenhead, the app where you can track NFTs, there you go. Walking Miracle pays attention. I watched Brian Mariotti's account because you could put any in there. And if you look at the Funko Press and Investor Day, oh, he only owns one. I thought he had two. He's got one of the rare cards, number 23 of 250. And if you look at the bottom, it has a 0 value because none has ever sold. But this is one of 16 in the world. Now, here's what really sucks about this. Pretty sure this account, because it hasn't changed at all over the years, since probably that was added to his wallet, or probably since Fright Night there. Oh, by the way, he has both of the Brave and the Bold ones we were talking about earlier, the Walmart redemption ones. But anyway, he hasn't logged into his account or done anything. I'm pretty sure that he lost access to this whenever he lost his Funko address. I don't think he could get back in. Not like he was actually managing it anyway, but yeah. So it says the value of his wallet's $44, but it's not. It's worth a lot more. That one's never going to go on sale. So at least one of the 16, they get 15 now. None of those have ever gone on sale. They're just lost forever. Maybe one day one of those investors goes back onto Wax for whatever reason, and then they go, oh, cool, like, I got these things, but I don't want them anymore. And they see that there's an offer and they accept it. Or they take the time to put it up for sale. But they're going to see that the value is $0 because none have ever sold. And they're going to think it's a worthless item. It's such a shame. I would love to get one of those, but I probably never will. It would take a resurgence in the excitement around Wax. I wonder how many of those 15 people that have one even have the login credentials for that Wax wallet anymore. They may be completely dead and lost forever. Crazy, right? So crazy. If you went back and searched other licensed stuff, you'd find a lot of these situations. The only exceptions were like Topps did well, Garbage Pail Kids did well. There's still some of those that retain incredible value. Funko, Hot Wheels did really well for a while. I'm trying to think of any other big licenses that were on the Wax. Street Fighter. There's Street Fighter ones on there. There was a cool chart that went out years ago. Weezer did horrible. Yeah, I went in on Weezer and lost my shirt on that business. There was a cool infographic about Wax that had all the companies that were involved in there. Of course, Funko was listed. I'm looking to see if I can find it right now. But you could go down the list of all the licensed companies, and I would recommend it if you're looking for, Spider-Man. Comic Zombie said it. The Spider-Man No Way Home. Wow, a lot of those were never open, but the packs are still, they're pretty expensive. It's hard to get a pack without having to pay quite a bit. Wax blockchain infographic? I gotta cut it out here in just a minute. I hate that I missed out on those opportunities to have cool stuff like this. I wish more companies would take a chance on stuff. I mean, look, it's gonna require somebody with a pretty open mind, a company that's like, let's just try different things and see what sticks. That's what we did at Funko when we were marketing. My boss was very much like, just try things, see what happens, man. And we did that a lot. But it's going to take a company like, I really think Figpen should have absolutely done it. I tried to convince them. You sold one for like $1,000. Nice, Comic Zombie. Figpen would be great for it. Mattel has done a little bit, but not a lot. I think they should lean into it. Hasbro should lean into it. There was a company, Cryptoys, for a while that I did some work with. They were doing some wonderful things. They didn't even make physical products, but they were working on making physical products from buying the NFTs. I think you could walk around San Diego Comic-Con and you could go to most booths the larger ones and go, they tried it, or they should. They should get into NFTs. They should get into they could take this and make it an NFT. This would be great for NFTs. Like, but it's going to require somebody to have that vision and be willing to invest a little money and take a chance. Bought a pack with it for $500, and the rest went back into Funko redeemables. Wow, you netted well. You netted out well. If I can find that infographic, I'll post it back out again. I haven't seen it in a long time. But it's really cool what projects were on there. Topps. I wish Topps would come back. That was one of the best. I loved the baseball card experience on the Wax blockchain. I was so excited. I spent a lot of money. I made some money. I made some real money off that. Like, the first few thousands of dollars I had in Wax came from my Topps profits, which allowed me to play in the space and do some fun things. All right, unfortunately, I got to go, gang. I got to go pick up the little one from school. Sorry we didn't get to game, but I had a wonderful conversation with you guys, as always. Don't forget to claim your free NFT for today. Once the stream is over for today, you can no longer claim it. I'll airdrop those to you probably tomorrow morning. Or midday, something like that. Remember, I'm going to be live on Whatnot tomorrow and Thursday. If you'd be willing to take a moment to go click the link here that I'm going to give you for Whatnot, or go look up my account, which is at CS Sully, same over there. And please bookmark tomorrow and Thursday's lives. If you've never created an account before, you can click that link. I just put it in Twitch. Sign up, and on your first purchase, you get $15 off. $15 off. So if I sell a $25 pop, you get it for $10 plus tax and delivery. I'll be selling some stuff tomorrow, Thursday, both 5 p.m. Pacific start times. Also, if you get your 15, I get 5. Oh, did they, Miss Jessie, start? Dope. And then if you're thinking about selling, they got another thing where if you sign up, new account, and sell something for the first time, you get $100, I get $100. Pretty big. If you're sitting on some extras around the house and you're like, I can give it a whirl, you can do it all from your phone. It's really not that complicated. Now, I spent some time over the weekend setting up my OBS. I had to use OBS for it, boo. But I'm going to try to stream my next Whatnot live. I know these computer problems are really making me rethink it. But I'll close down everything that I'm not using for that, and we'll see if it makes a difference. You got an email that said you got a delivery today? Dope. Thank you, Asteroid Eater. I'm going to give you guys some points. We're going to find somebody to raid. Add points all, let's do 75. A little quieter today. That means less of those NFTs are going out. And then let's see if we can find somebody to raid. We'll go over to the old Twitch. I'll have to do more research on this energy efficiency mode that's ruining my streaming life. We normally raid to Welsh Dan. I still owe him a phone call and some fun stuff I'm going to do with him. But I don't want to do that the same every time. Why don't we look and see if we can raid somebody different? There's Felicia Day. We hadn't raided her in a while, but she's doing okay without our love. What's Chris Perillo doing? Is he actually on screen? He is. I haven't rated Chris in a while. If you guys don't know Chris, I've had a couple conversations with the guy over the years. He was an influencer early on when I was getting into the web and doing nerd foo and blogging and stuff. I would see him always creating content. He's a full-time content creator, the ultimate Star Wars nerd, and he's been a big Twitch guy for a long time. He is running 24-hour streams showing his 3D printing. But he's actually talking right now on stream. I want to show a little love his way. Get you guys over there to go hang out with Chris Perillo. Who knows? Maybe it's a content creator that you're going to want to stick with after today. So we're going to raid over to him. Make sure you drop in, use the hashtag SullyRaid, and say hi to him. Maybe stick around for a few minutes and check out his content. I gotta bail. I gotta go pick up the kiddo. So this will be it for me. Remember to wash your hands, check in on somebody you love, make sure they're doing okay, and above all else, most importantly, Nerds Unite. Whatnot tomorrow. See you guys on Friday here. Bye, everybody. Rating. Why don't I hear any sound? Oh, muted tab. Nope. It doesn't make any sense. Why am I not hearing?